Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to And I Quote, the weekly show where we introduce you to content creators of all shapes and sizes that join us from many and all corners of the nerd universe. We find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guests, plural, that's right, yeah. You know what's better than having a guest on And I Quote? Two guests are better than one. So please welcome indie comic book writer, artists, and creators. Wells Thompson and Dalton Shannon are in the building once again. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's
Good
going well. Thank you both for being here. Do greatly appreciate it. Now, if you have any questions for Wells Thompson as well as Dalton Shannon, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Producer's going to be keeping an eye on it as we go throughout the course of this program. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If this is your first time here and you're watching us live or on the replay, we thank you so much for being with us. I do greatly appreciate it. With that being said, gentlemen, it's been a while. It's good to have you back. I mean, not too many guests make, sequels in this business, but hey, we're more than welcome to accommodate. We're more than happy to welcome some familiar faces back on set, and we're happy to have you both here. So just out of curiosity, since the last time we spoke, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have transpired. But before we get into some of your creativeness known as projects, just want to ask you about something known as Kickstarter. So I'll go over to you, Wells. What do you think are some of the positives of using Kickstarter?
As a creator or as a backer?
Yes, as a creator, yeah.
As a creator, it allows me a lot more freedom, less overhead, less corporate mandatey kind of stuff. I get to tell the story that I want to tell and find exactly who wants to read it, produce things on a smaller scale and still be able to, turn that into, the words are losing me. I can make enough money to keep myself afloat while selling a smaller amount than I would on the direct market, but getting a larger cut back, which allows me to tell better, more interesting stories to people that want to hear them.
Wow, very eloquent with your words. So what? It's all good. It all comes to you eventually.
I'm a writer. It's what I do.
It's what I do. I put stuff on paper. I know what I'm doing, bro. Get off my back. So, Dalton, as a creator, what are the benefits of using Kickstarter in your mind?
Kickstarter and crowdfunding platforms are they seem to just be the right amount of middleman, I guess, between creator and audience. It allows you to just do the thing you want to do and find the audience that is going to connect with that. And whether that means you're printing a ton of books or like 5 books, like it doesn't matter. You can do what you want to do and find the people who want to read it. And I don't know. There's a lot of men that will they don't necessarily facilitate that kind of relationship, but Kickstarter and Zoop and any other kind of crowdfunding platform tends to it meets the audience and the creators halfway, like a middleman should, and just connect them in a way that benefits both. Everyone kind of gets what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. On the flip side of the coin, though, Wells, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges about using Kickstarter as a creator?
Challenges?
All of them.
Everything is kind of on your back. From distribution to printing to promotion, it's all sort of there's You are the link. There is no weak link. It is you. So if you flub in any one particular area, it brings the whole ship down. And it's important that you be able to handle that or be able to delegate it very wisely. So it's a lot more to worry about. It's not just the joy of making the book. It's also the stress of marketing the book and the logistics of printing it and having a basement full of Gemini mailers ready to mail out through the post office, who will look at you very strangely when you bring them 500 perfectly rectangular boxes.
That's a nice round number. Hey, boxes are boxes. It works for everybody.
Mhm.
On the flip side, though, Dalton, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges about using Kickstarter? Anything to
add? You don't get to just be a creator. Like that's honestly the biggest hurdle that I've personally had to deal with. You can't just write. You can't just draw. Like you have to be a marketer. You have to be a shipper. You have to wear all the hats. You can't just do the one thing you want to do. And that's true of most indie scenes. Like you don't have the backing of a larger platform to do all of that minutia for you. So it like Will says, it's all on you. And if that chain breaks, then the whole operation can suffer. So like crowdfunding definitely has way more positives than negatives to it, but those negatives are pretty strong, and it's a balancing act to make sure that you're able to get to tell the stories you want to tell and do the art you want to do, all while making any sort of modicum of living.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough. Any indie comic book writers or artists that you guys are big fans of?
All of them.
Who reads comics? Come on.
Any names that stand out to you?
On the very like local where we're at, sort of contemporary level, Kat Calamia, one of my favorite people to just talk with. She's the queen of Kickstarter. She always has a project running. Has one launching the same day we do on Monday, actually.
That's not fair.
No, she earned it. It's I'm the reason we're launching on the same day is because I followed her advice once upon a time to launch on a Monday. So it's more my bad than hers. As far as the big boys go, that are still technically indie, Ram V has a new book coming out, and it's fantastic, and everyone should read it. Who else? There's too many people that I love and respect to be able to name and effectively like get across how much I appreciate them. Brittany Matter is a great editor. She's working on a book right now that's running called Amelia Sky. Definitely recommend everyone check that out. Generally speaking, if you just like thumb through like the people that I'm following on Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever, most of them are going to be producing something really, really cool and worth checking out.
Good names. Dalton, any other names you want to add to that list there?
All of my favorites are the ones who said yes to working with us. So, like, Fernando Pinto, Heather Vaughn, Mary Landro, like all their names are on our books or did variant covers for us. Like, they're top tier talent that you should be following and seeking out all of their own projects, because I don't know, seeing the level of talent on display that isn't just writing it's always humbling, and I don't know, they're always drawing cool stuff.
Oh, well said. Once again, we are here with the dynamic duo known as Wells Thompson and Dalton Shannon on this episode of And I Quote. Don't forget to like and share it with everyone you know. If you have any questions for these fine gentlemen, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if you're watching this live on the replay, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So let's talk about this for a minute here. So I'm just curious. Mechaton. Boy, I'm getting some interesting vibes here from different properties and different characters. But I'm just curious.
It's a Mechaton of
Mechaton.
fun.
What exactly is this? What's this all about? How did this happen?
Okay,
Mechaton.
refresh my memory. Were we on the show last time for Frankenstein or Mechaton? Because we do so many shows, it's hard to remember
No, the
which
last
ones
time
we
you were
did.
here, you were talking about depths. You were talking about depths.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
So,
So
yeah,
this is fresh. This is fresh for Mechaton. Good.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about depths.
Mechaton is a rule of cool sci-fi action comedy about a glove that turns anything it punches into a mech, the two idiots that get their hands on it, and the kaiju shenanigans that ensue. It's a lot of fun if you're getting like Saturday morning cartoon Toonami vibes off of it. That's very much intentional. It was born out of a love for properties like Gurren Lagann and Ben 10 and also stuff like Scott Pilgrim as well. And we really wanted to inject it with that same flavor of like, I can't wait to see the next episode, get up on a Saturday morning kind of vibe.
Well, the cover looks quite cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting some mad vibes here. I'm getting some Infinity Gauntlet, maybe some old school Saturday morning cartoon vibes, as well as who knows. We were talking about this in the green room earlier. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of stuff's like kind of subconsciously snuck into the making of this thing.
If it has to do with giant mechs or tokusatsu, it's probably in this book in some capacity. Yeah.
Goodness gracious, man! It looks really cool. I mean, I take it you guys were watching some Pacific Rim, some Kaiju Godzilla, and maybe some SSSS, which stands for Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, to be more specific. If you guys were watching all that when you were coming up with this idea, well done. That's good homework right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't remember a time before Godzilla, so like he's always been a part of my life.
You got to pay respect to the big man.
Yeah,
he is the king, by the way.
I keep up with Ultraman on a weekly basis. Like I love anything with a giant robot in it. So like there's this deep love of big things punching even bigger things, and just having the opportunity to kind of put our own spin on it, where like the big thing can be anything, was a lot of fun, and you get to turn hot dog carts or houses or police cars or like whole city blocks into robots to punch giant monsters. I don't know. The possibilities were endless, and it's really fun to keep coming up with the nonsense.
I mean, kaiju mixed with giant robots, mixed with Transformers or whatever else. Speaking of Toonami, all those old school shows, or manga, anime. Was it My Hero Academia, DBZ? I mean,
we're a little old for My Hero Academia. DBZ is definitely in there.
What was the other one? Full Metal Alchemist, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anybody remember that? I don't know.
Full Metal Alchemist was my jam.
That was your jam?
Absolutely.
It's good stuff. I like the manga too. Manga was pretty good too. There was another one. This one doesn't really center around robots per se, but another property that I came across a little while ago, Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, dude, yes.
I don't know if anyone's familiar with it.
I haven't seen that one.
Really? It's a lot of fun.
Is it? I only read the first. What was it like? The first. What do you call it? Like volume 1, I guess, of the manga. Is that what it's called? Volume. So yeah, I read the first volume. It was fine. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as I did Full Metal Alchemist and DBZ, but hey.
It was one of those like quintessential like 90s animes that was on Toonami all the time. That like I'm not sure I could be objective about it. Like if you ask me what, like, is it actually any good? I don't think I could fairly tell you, because it's like so ingrained into like my media diet as a kid that it just kind of it became good by default.
Oh, jeez, man! Just raffled off a whole bunch of different properties. With that being said, but the last time you guys were here, did Depths get funded? Did that happen?
Unfortunately, no, it did not. Depths was a highly ambitious project, and definitely the riskiest one that we put out there. So we knew that if there was one that wasn't going to make it, it would be Depths. We haven't given up on it by any means, but we're just waiting for the right time to put it out.
Oh, all right. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Exactly.
That's all you can do. So with Mechaton, when does the next Kickstarter kick off?
Monday.
This
Wow.
Monday for the trade collecting the entire first arc of Mechaton. So issues 1 through 5, you get 108 pages. This is the perfect time to jump into Mechaton. If you've been on the fence or haven't heard about it, you get the entire first act of the story at your fingertips in a nice trade paperback or deluxe edition, depending on where you want to go. And yeah, you'll be ready for when we kick off Act 2 at some point, maybe this year. We'll see.
Wow, awesome stuff. Well, congratulations on that, gentlemen. That's fantastical stuff. Now, not to give too much away here, because we want the reader to enjoy the story for what it is. Don't get me wrong, but what exactly is the plan for Mechaton? We're going to stretch this thing out to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 issues, maybe 100, maybe 50. Who knows?
Let's try and get to 12. All right.
I was going to say, what's the game plan here? What's the overall game? What's the Kevin Feige plan here?
Right now, we have gamed out 3 arcs, 11 issues, and if it goes past that, we'll be happy to take it there. If there's an audience for it, if we feel like we can take it further, we would love to do that. If I spent every day writing Mechaton, I would be a happy man. But yeah, we're right now 11 is the number that we were like, this is the shortest amount of issues that we can tell the full story in. And it's not so many issues that we feel like we're never going to get to the end of it and have to worry about that. So we do have a plan for getting to the end, and we're not going to stop until we're there.
All right.
That's a threat. All right. We're not stopping.
We're not. Wow. Okay. We're getting very, very
Many
strong
people
words.
have asked us to stop. We refuse.
No, all good, man. Strong words being spoken by the kind gentleman known as Wells Thompson here on this episode. But no, that's great, and we wish you nothing but success with the storyline and these characters moving forward for sure. It sounds really intriguing, and that cover is very cool too. Kid with the glove on, he's like, "Yeah, I got the power." Yeah.
Fernando Pinto is absolutely fantastic and so good at turning the energy that we bring to the comic into these powerful standalone covers.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you guys ever go back and still watch some of your favorite cartoons that center around these types of characters?
Yeah, if I have time.
I was going to say Dalton probably more so than I do. I think. Let's see. My wife asked me if I wanted to rewatch Teen Titans, and I just kind of. I groaned, not because I didn't want to, because I was like, when are we going to find the time to watch this? We have so much other crap that we need to get through. I finished Better Call Saul like 2 weeks ago. Wow. It's been done for like 2 years. I cannot keep up with things on time. Well, like as they're happening.
Yeah, that's fair. I always watch TV shows long after they've already come and gone, when they're on streaming services, especially, and not to, what am I trying to say? Change the subject too much here, but on streaming services like Freevee and Tubi, if you guys are familiar with those, they're so, like, I just did a random scrolling through of Tubi earlier today. There are so many TV shows available to stream on Tubi. Some of them I've seen. Yes, I will admit it. But some I have yet to see that I really want to watch, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is so much time. Like,
there's not enough time. You gotta pick what you want to watch.
This is the crazy thing. NYPD Blue was on for 12 years, and I thought it was only on for like 4 or 5. But I scrolled through Tubi, and it says it was on for 12 seasons. It has all 12 seasons on its streaming service, and I'm thinking, 12 years. 12 seasons?
And guess what? You only need to watch like 2 of them to get the entire gist of the 12. You can watch 2 episodes and know what 12 seasons of television is. It's great.
Probably.
In my head, CSI SVU is like 3 seasons and like a very special episode. And then I look at it and I'm like, it's 20 years. That's interesting. However long.
I love that you combined CSI and Law and Order into one show.
SVU.
Oh, whatever. You know.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. SVU is celebrating
SVU
its
is what I
25th
meant, yeah.
season this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm
25th
saying.
season, which is crazy.
No, there's not enough time for
Too
that.
much.
No.
Too much SVU.
It's a lot
There's
of
already too much content outside of crime dramas. We have too many.
I never thought I would say this, but I need less iced tea in my life.
Hey, he's got a steady job and a steady paycheck, so he's going
Good
to
for
keep doing
him.
it.
But
Yeah, he's going to keep doing it until he can't do it no longer. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, SVU just celebrated its 25th season, which, by the way, longest running show in the history of television.
really?
Yeah,
That's
because the longest show at the time, before SVU broke that record, respectively, was Gunsmoke, and that was 20 seasons. And Law and Order, the original Law and Order, I'm talking about the original. Law and Order beat it. It came in at 20 seasons, and they canceled it. And then 10 years later, they bring it back, and now it's on season 23, which is just wild to me, by the way. And SVU's on season 25. So
What about The Simpsons?
Not counting like dramas, that's an animated series. So animated series, I think Simpsons is in fact the longest running animated series of all time. I mean, honestly, I think it's been running a lot longer than SVU. So I think it is like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they're in their
Also,
30th season.
Are we forgetting 60 Minutes? Come on, guys.
The
longest running show.
That's not a script. Well, I mean, it is a scripted show, but it's not. I'm talking about like drama, like fictionalized show. Whereas 60 Minutes is just a news show. It's
very good reporting.
It is. I mean, it's been around for a very, very long time. But is that the longest running like news show ever?
Okay,
Who knows?
Yeah.
Is it?
Also, are we forgetting The Price is Right? Come on, guys.
Well, yeah, but here's the problem. Price is Right was great when Bob Barker was hosting, but not so much with that new guy.
It's not about what's great. It's about what's still on the air.
True, but Drew Carey doesn't do the honestly. Like Drew Carey's fine, but he is. I mean, no one can hold a candle to Bob Barker.
No.
Yeah, Drew Carey doesn't have that subtle layer of sexual harassment just under the surface.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but
hey, Bob was special for a reason.
What? I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, hey, he did star in Happy Gilmore, so we'll give him that.
Star, yeah.
Well, he made a cameo. Whatever, he made a cameo. You know what I mean? He made a cameo. Which, by the way, rest in peace to Chubbs Peterson, Carl Weathers, who passed away yesterday. He was in Happy Gilmore as Chubbs. He was in Predator. He was in the Star Wars TV show The Mandalorian. He was in all the Rocky movies.
Arrested Development. That's honestly where I first knew him from.
Really, Carl Weathers was on Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got a stew going, baby.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
He's the one who did that line.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that, Wells. I apologize. I did not know that. I'm learning something new every day on this program, and hopefully the person who's watching this is learning something new too on And I Quote with Wells Thompson and Dalton Shannon, the co-creators of Mechaton, which is going to be invading Kickstarter here pretty soon. And it's exciting stuff. So don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you have any questions for these fine gentlemen, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. If you want to geek out over your favorite Saturday morning cartoons or something else that may have come to your attention, I don't know. Maybe what is the longest running show? Because apparently Dalton knows more than we do. I mean,
that's generally true. Dalton does know more than you.
He probably does.
Everything.
He probably does.
He knows more than me. He knows more than everyone. He should be appointed God King of Earth.
Oh, really?
These are my real
Thank you for saying it out loud.
He said it out loud, and it's on the public record now. So,
okay, guys. I mean, we're also like,
what are we forgetting?
Soap operas. General
Hospital.
I know
there's a telenovela that's been running for like 85 years.
Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives, yeah.
Okay, also Sesame Street.
Yes, that's still going and should
Saturday
be
Night Live.
That's creation. What was the other one?
No. Saturday Night Live?
Oh, SNL. Yeah, that's going on for like what, 55, 56 years now?
Well, it depends. If we're talking scripted, it's The Simpsons.
Oh, it is Simpsons. Okay, so
followed
Simpsons
by Law and Order SVU.
45 years?
35 years on The Simpsons, 25 on Law and Order SVU.
Scripted.
There you go. So it's 10 years.
General Hospital is very scripted, and it's been going for 60.
Oh my gosh, General Hospital. Why General Hospital? Why?
Look, housewives love soap operas.
They do.
I don't know what to tell you.
No, it's true. You're right. You're not lying to the audience, but I'm just saying that soap operas, they're all the same 5 storylines every season.
Well, yeah.
It's crazy. And they
Same
get
with
away
comic books, baby.
They literally get away with yes, and comic books do that too. They reboot certain comic books. Anyway, I'm not talking about everybody, by the way. I'm trying to respect.
No, I mean, I think it's an open secret that superhero comics are soap
get
operas.
rebooted.
Yeah,
they get rebooted. They get retconned, and then they reboot the same 5 storylines every year. Isn't that weird?
Well, no, we love our soap operas. Like
true.
Yeah,
and they do the same thing in comics, right?
It's for a particular audience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Superhero comics are soap operas, and people who love those love the appeal of the soap opera format. Like that's just what it is.
I mean, I respect that, but at the same time, I don't think of when the comic books that I read anyway. I don't think of them as soap operas, not at all.
Well, you don't think of them as soap operas. Neither do wrestling fans, but it's a soap opera. That's what it is.
Oh, we're getting into wrestling now. Okay.
I'm not like a big wrestling fan.
No,
but
I used to be, not anymore.
That is legitimately
that business years ago. Yeah. Especially with all the craziness that's going on behind closed doors and the lawsuits that are being brought up against a certain gentleman with a certain company. That's oh my gosh. Yeah.
Look, any property that runs more than like 10 years is going to have the recycled formulas of soap operas. Like it's not a blight. It's not an insult. That's just
right.
The cyclical nature of franchises. And as long as you are healthy with your acceptance of that, it's fine. Go like Batman, but you have to admit he's a soap opera character.
Yeah.
Dark, brooding, and always
very entertaining soap opera character, but a soap opera character.
Batman had a secret son he didn't know about. That is soap opera.
That is a soap opera plot. How many secret siblings or clones or how many amnesia plots? It's all the same.
Yeah, when I found out that he had a kid because the girl drugged him and she got knocked up, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like Batman as a kid? Get out of here.
Hey, that's a great run of Batman comics, though. Grant Morrison's Batman run is top tier.
I mean, have I read Grant Morrison's run? I think I read parts of it. I can't remember.
It ran for a while.
I should probably go back and revisit that. I don't know.
It's good stuff.
It's a trip.
There's some comic book runs I need to go back to, guys, and either read for the first time or just revisit. I'm not sure which ones. I got to figure that out later. But with the oh my gosh, we've gone all over the place today, haven't we? The same formula. It works for all genres. Let it go. Jeez. Anyway, any recent, because since the last time we spoke, I'm just curious. Any comic book based movies or TV series that you guys have seen that you've actually enjoyed that stand out to you, Wells?
Oh, I mean the last one that came out that was new that I saw. Actually, the Scott Pilgrim animated series I really enjoyed.
I still need to watch that.
It's so good. It's so good. You get to the end of the first episode thinking this is exactly what I signed up for, and then it blows your mind and flips the script, and it's great. I can't recommend it enough. The Spider-Verse movie was kind of reignited my faith in storytelling. Made me very happy. It was a rough period that I was going through when I saw that movie. And we saw, not for the first time, but we rewatched Matt Reeves' The Batman and Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. And both of them are fantastic. And I definitely enjoyed them more the second time than I did the first.
Good titles there. Yeah, The Batman's pretty good. I just wonder when the heck the Batman 2 is going to come out.
I don't know.
Because they're taking forever on that movie, man.
You know what? Take your time. We've seen what happens when a new,
gets rushed.
When it's rushed and when a new one comes out like every year, and and people get bored of it, people get fatigued, people get annoyed.
MCU fatigue, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just like, take your time, make a good movie. I don't care.
I mean, Matt Reeves is a great filmmaker, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for years. I don't know. What about you, Dalton? Any comic book based titles, whether they be movies or TV series, that stand out to you recently that you really enjoyed?
I don't watch a lot of it. I pretty much, I don't watch any of it. The only thing
He checked out harder than anyone I've ever seen. Like, we watched Infinity War and
In-game.
In-game, and then he was just like, I'm never watching one of these again.
I just got so
What,
tired.
the 3-hour cuts were enough for you?
No, the theatrical cuts were fine, but no, I just got so burned out. I don't care, so I don't watch it. The only thing I have watched since we last spoke that actually like made me cry was the Doom Patrol finale. Doom Patrol was like the shining light in a glut of mediocrity that was comic book adaptations. And that show is a gem and should be cherished. And that finale hit harder than I ever expected it to. And I highly recommend people check out Doom Patrol because it's better than any comic book adaptation has a right to be.
Oh, there you go. Strong endorsement. I have yet to see Doom Patrol, so I'll have to add that to my to-do list. It's over 600 miles long. Thanks, guys. Yeah. But
it starts off weird.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it gets any more palatable, but just be
weird
prepared for that. It's going to come off real strong, and it's going to stay there, and it's up to you to meet it where it is.
Yeah, it's one of the weirdest shows you'll ever see. And that is one of its strengths.
Weird, bizarre stuff.
Well, the first episode ends with them crossing a dimensional barrier through a donkey's asshole. So, that's the first episode. You'll go from there.
Wow.
One of the series' regular villains are monster butts that
really?
Yeah.
People.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie butts. Yeah.
Boy, that's something that we would call, hey, that's out of left field. What are you doing here? I don't know. But I hope the person who's watching or listening to this strange, bizarre episode of And I Quote is enjoying themselves with the incredible Wells Thompson and Dalton Shannon, who knows more than the common man. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if you have any questions for these gentlemen, including, hey, what's the longest running X, Y, and Z? Ask Dalton or Wells. They'll give you the answer. Let us know in the comments.
That's a good idea.
We could play trivia if you want.
And if not, we can make something up. We can
make something up as we go, right, Wells?
I make things up for a living. It's great.
Yeah, you can leave it in the chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If this is your first time here and you're watching this live or on a replay, we thank you for being here. We can't do this without you. Appreciate you being here for sure. So you mentioned something earlier about going back to the con circuit. What has it been like going back to Comic Cons, gentlemen? Any thoughts?
It was 3 weeks ago, 4, maybe 4. We went to the Northwest Arkansas Comic Con, and that had been my first convention in well over a year, and it was awesome. Like I had a great time at that convention, just getting to. Yeah, I got to see people I hadn't seen in a long time that did the circuit as well. Old friends, got to put some books in hands, got to see kids' eyes get like really big when they saw Mechaton, some really sweet cosplay, and I was like right across the aisle from Alan Tudyk, so that was really fun too. My wife got to go meet him. She was pretty giddy. But yeah, the con circuit is great. It was like a little shaky because I hadn't done it in so long, but got my sea legs pretty quick, and it's good to be back.
Oh, Alan Tudyk, voice of K2SO and Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, the best Star Wars prequel we ever got.
I'm sorry. Are you crediting a Star Wars thing before Firefly?
Well, I'm sorry. I haven't seen all 13 episodes of Firefly. I've only seen Serenity. I apologize.
That is your fault, and you should change that. Be better.
Be better.
Be better. Listen, I got a million shows on my plate, guys. But yeah, I know Firefly is one of the shorter run shows, so I can easily get through that in a day. So,
that's a long day.
It's only 12 episodes. It's only like 13
episodes.
Yeah,
they're 1 hour long.
Yeah, but without the commercials, it's like 42 minutes an episode, really.
Sure, that's a long day.
Well, I mean, not that. I mean, well, true. I mean, I can get it done in maybe not a day. I overstated myself. I'm sorry, but 2-3 days.
You're gonna have to tack Serenity onto the end of that.
Well, I'm sorry. I can do it in 2 or 3 days. Give me a break. With that, Wells, what about you? What has the experience been going back to the place of nerdom known as Comic Cons?
Comic Cons are fantastic. I love getting to meet new fans and introduce people to our books, and see the wildly creative cosplay and interesting stuff being made. Also, just the interesting stuff that my fellow creators and artists and writers are making. Just getting to walk around the con and sort of absorb all of the talent that's on display is really a treat. And I love everything about going to a con.
Well, they are a lot of fun. Been doing it for over 10 years, and it continues to be fun, and it should be fun. And you get to make new friends and meet creators of all kinds. So why not?
That is the whole point.
I mean, it's absolutely a lot of fun. If you haven't been to one before, a person watching or listening to this, treat yourself. Go to a con. Small, big, medium, doesn't matter. Go and visit Artist Alley, visit the creators, visit all the fine people there. You'll enjoy yourself. I guarantee it. I would venture to say. Here's a great question for you fine gentlemen. In the next 5 years or so, do you think there will be a convention or a convention type event where it's going to be strictly indie creators, indie comic book creators, artists, inkers, all that kind of jazz in the next 5 years? Wells, what do you think?
Yes.
Those already exist.
I'm not only am I certain that it is, I'm pretty sure they already exist. No, I know that
Heroes Con is like the big one.
Heroes Con, yeah. There's Heroes Con, which is hugely famous, and it's North Carolina, right?
Charlotte,
Charlotte,
which isn't too far from me, by the way.
I've never been either, but I have friends that go every year. I would love to get out there one day. I know there's a like indie
small press expo
specific one in Colorado and Denver that has a lot of press, and I think that there's one coming to Chicago, but I could be wrong about that. Which I would love because I live in Chicago. But I know that there's a hunger for it. There's definitely a hunger for it amongst creators. We want something that's a little bit more catered to us because artist alleys are getting, for all that I praise about cons, artist alleys do feel somewhat hostile at times. Like they're kind of shoved in a corner and we're embarrassed to have them. I think there's definitely the conditions are being made for something like that. And probably expanding on the ones that already are out there.
Yeah, the corporatization of Comic-Con is not boding well for the independent artists. So like it's almost going to be a necessity to have more of these indie small press conventions pop up to facilitate the talent. Like it's one of those things where like they're going to explode because they have to, because they don't have anywhere else to go. And if you're losing traffic because Chris Evans is signing autographs, like, of course you're going to go make your own space. Like it's inevitable, and they already exist, and you should go support any of them that you see, because those artists that are working at those conventions are working their asses off to make zines. Like it's great to see the talent on display. Go support your indies.
Well, Heroes Con is definitely on my list since it's not too far from where I am here in the great state of North Carolina. So, for good things about Heroes Con over the years, so I should pay him a visit.
Oh yeah, one of my good friends, Alex Breen, who lives up here with near me in Chicago, has like 3 rooms full of art that he got exclusively from Heroes Con. You can find everyone there.
Yeah, it's the one convention that Michel Fife attends, and that's the only time I'll get to meet him in person. So I need to get out to Heroes Con.
It's on the list.
And all three of us should meet up there and have a blast together. That would be fun, now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Sure, it'd be great.
Yeah, we should do that. That'd be a lot of fun. We can have grab a bite to eat, have some nice conversation, and meet some other people. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of meet and greet, rubbing elbows with some of the best.
Always.
For sure. Well, I guess that was a silly question to ask, because hey, they exist. I just I made a rock for the last 2 minutes. But anyway, here's another good question for you guys. I don't know, maybe this is not so much of a good question because my first one was a little bit out of left.
The answer is General Hospital.
The answer, no, I'm not asking you about soap operas, okay? Because the last thing I need to hear is about soap operas, because I know for a fact, they're all over the place. You can stream them anywhere. I know, Tubi Freebie may have a couple of them. You go on YouTube, Young and Restless, Days of Our Lives, all these other soap operas that have been around for a number of years. They all have their own official YouTube channels where you can just stream the episodes.
Yeah, it's great.
So just,
I mean, they're airing an episode a day. You got to keep up somehow.
yeah, I guess if you're into that sort of thing, I don't know. But gee whiz, guys. So enough about the soap operas. Talking about comics now. Do you think physical copies of comics, also known as floppies, if you want to go that route, do you think we'll still have physical copies of comics? Are they still going to be selling in the next 10 to 15 years?
Oh yeah, they'll be there.
They'll be niche.
I think they'll be more niche. I think they'll start to dwindle in popularity and in prominence. But there's always going to be some kind of a collector's market, and as long as DC and Marvel are around, they're going to try and cater to them. But I think we're really starting to see trades break through as the big thing that people want to read and that people are pushing toward, and that companies are wanting to sell. I think there's just been too many examples of individual, particularly floppies past issue number 1 that are just like basically impossible to push and get out there and get people interested in. So,
yeah, I think if the big two would ever get off their butts and start acting like book publishers, floppies would be extinct within the decade because they would start making just trades. They would start just doing graphic novels, and those would sell like crazy. But they don't have faith in that market yet, and so they're just coasting. Not to say that I dislike floppies. That's my bread and butter. I don't ever want the floppy to go away. But from a strictly business sense, like, they don't make any sense anymore. You need to... I really don't see the floppy existing forever. At least not physically. They may start doing like... The Conan just got taken over by Titan Publishing, and they not only do the floppy comics, but they are also doing novelettes, but they are exclusively ebooks. So I can see Marvel and DC maybe just doing exclusively digital versions of the floppies to be eventually collected into a physical collection. So I think that is more likely, but I mean, it's all just a stopgap until everything goes digital. But those things will definitely still exist for the collectors. They're just going to be a higher end kind of thing, like vinyl is now. So yeah, they're not ever going to go away completely, but they are going to be less and less relevant every year.
Yeah. Personally, I would love to see floppies turn into like a subscription service type thing, where you go to DC and you say, "Hey, I want to be caught. I want a monthly, like, send me the book, send me the the action comics or detective comics every month," and then
they used to do that.
People will or I would like to see that be like the main market for floppies, like a very direct to consumer, and then in stores mainly just trades and graphic novels.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, we thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on that matter, gentlemen. Yeah. When it comes to a lot of characters over the years have been placed in what is known as the public domain. And I'm just curious, Wells, are there any characters that are in the public domain that you like to take a swing at?
For using one.
You mean other than the one that we're already doing?
Yeah, aside from that one.
Yeah. So in terms of like Winnie the Pooh and like Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, he just got thrown in there.
I don't have a strong urge to like grab those and corrupt them, and I'm sort of, I don't know. I feel a little let down by the people that that was their first instinct, was to be like, let's do a really dark, messed up version of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, blood and honey, whatever the heck that was.
Yeah, I'm like, what? If I would love to see someone come out and be like, here's a really, here's what Winnie the Pooh kind of meant to me, and here's my own take on it. That would be really interesting. Personally, the characters that I want to mess with that are in the public domain are usually the horror icons, and to my knowledge, there's not any that are entering the public domain, except maybe the Xenomorph, but I would have to check and see what the deal is with that, because Alien came out in what, 69?
79.
79. Oh, so it's still got a while.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's generally those are starting to get a little bit older and a little bit closer to being in the public domain. Xenomorph might take another 20, 30 years or something like that, but or maybe it's longer than that. I don't know if they've changed the rules, but as far as I was aware, it was like 70, 80 years. But yeah, no, as far as public domain characters go, the big one that I wanted to write a book about is the one that we're currently writing a book about, Frankenstein the Unconquered. So and sort of the canon of Halloween monsters that surround him with vampires and werewolves and invisible men.
Dracula's in there.
Yeah, Dracula's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why have Frankenstein when you can have them all in just one giant basket?
Exactly.
Fantastic stuff. Any characters you want to tackle there, Dalton, or are you comfortable with where you guys are at right now?
Godzilla, and you know it.
Oh yeah, dude, Godzilla would be really fun if they ever. I mean, 54, so like he's closer than some.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, celebrate birthday this year, actually.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Godzilla would be fun. There are things that I think I would I'm too close to actually have anything important to say. Like Godzilla, I think would actually be kind of hard for me to do anything with, because I don't know, it's just too close to the chest. Winnie the Pooh is interesting because that was a big part of my childhood, and I think to actually do something creative instead of all the creatively bankrupt things I've seen done with Winnie the Pooh would be a breath of fresh air and actually wholesome and meaningful and true to what Winnie the Pooh was, rather than just trying to tear down things. Yeah, so I guess Winnie the Pooh's my answer. That'd be fun. Look for it. 2027. Winnie the Pooh.
I would actually love to see a Dalton K. Shannon Winnie the Pooh story, because I know what you're capable of, and I know the kind of what characters mean to you and how important staying true to their essence is, and yeah, I can see you doing something really wholesome with that. So I'm fully encouraging you to go into make some Winnie the Pooh stories, friend.
That'd be interesting. Like to see that happen for you, brother. You never know. Crazier things have happened. Just out of curiosity, though, what's your favorite Godzilla movie, Dalton?
Ooh, I mean so it's very easy to say the original 54 or Shin Godzilla. And also there's some great beat 'em ups like Destroy All Monsters. I have a soft spot for Godzilla versus Megalon. There's a ton, but my recent favorite is Godzilla -1 that just came out in December. That is a masterpiece of film, not just kaiju film. I highly encourage anyone to check out -1 because it will, in the theater, my heart was just pounding like it doesn't ever do during a kaiju movie. He felt big, he felt menacing, and I was literally cheering for them to kill the bastard. I wanted Godzilla dead in that movie. There's so many good Godzilla movies. I honestly don't know if there's a bad one, but this one is recency bias, but I'll say -1 for now.
It's also impressive because it had a budget of $5.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the movie's so good.
Godzilla -1 had a
It had a very small budget for what it was.
Really?
Yeah, not nearly the
the Hollywood big bucks.
Yeah, Hollywood big budget kind of.
Really?
Japan seems to know how to stretch their dollar.
I wonder what the budget for -1 was, $5 million, $15 million film. Jeez.
Here we go.
May have been less. I don't know. I have no idea what the numbers are because, a friend of mine. By the way, I have heard this from a number of individuals who have stated on record that Godzilla -1 is one of their favorite films of the year. It's their favorite Godzilla film ever. I mean, people are just raving about Godzilla -1. So it's definitely something I want to sit down and watch because I am a Godzilla fan to a degree. So
it had a budget of around 10 to 15 million.
I was okay. $15 million
And
film. That's insane.
it's made over 100 so far.
Wow. That's awesome. Congratulations to the cast and crew of Godzilla Minus One on their success. That's great stuff.
Mhm.
And I've heard great things about it too. I actually think it's getting some attention from the Oscars are giving
Visual
it some
effects, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, was it visual effect? Yeah.
Yep.
Visual effects. There you go. Boom. There you go. Gorgeous. I can't help it. I like saying that word. Congratulations to the cast and crew of Godzilla Minus One. Success is all around. Congratulations, fellas. Great stuff. Wow. Public domains, Godzilla crushing stuff, and a $15 million movie just blowing up the box office. Don't you wish movies were made for simpler numbers nowadays? Because it seems like they're relying way too heavily on CGI and big budget films like $300 million to $250 million films. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. And that just sort of sets it up for not for failure, but for mediocrity. Because when you have those kind of big numbers involved, you're naturally gonna,
Play it safe.
You're gonna play it as safe as possible. You're gonna try and appeal to the broadest common denominator, and that makes for pretty bland movies mostly. You occasionally get some really exceptional stuff, but yeah, I definitely miss the smaller, experimental $10 million budget kind of movie that doesn't really exist anymore in the American blockbuster.
Man, let's go back to when things were different and simpler. Anyway, once again, we're here with Wells Thompson and Dalton Shannon, the co-creators of Mechaton, which is going to be invading Kickstarter here pretty soon. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you have any questions for these educated people, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. If you got any questions about what show or what character did this, that, and the other, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Dalton can look it up for you. Wells can look it up for you. It doesn't matter. Someone's going to do it. And we thank you for being with us. And if you're watching this live or what is known as a replay, we also want to say thank you for being with us. This episode has been quite educational. And I do want to let you know, Wells and Dalton, that this episode of And I Quote is indeed powered by our good friends at Poddex. Now, Poddex are the hottest new tool for podcasters looking to have more meaningful conversations or gamify their podcasts. You simply shuffle up, you ask a question. That's what you do. And you let the content roll. Get yours today at poddex.com. Use code Ryan10. That's RYAN10, Ryan10 for 10% off your order. Thank you to our good friends over there at poddex.com. So, Wells, I'll toss this one over to you first. Poddex wants to know who was the best boss you ever had and what made them the best.
Oh, you said boss, and I was really hopeful it was a Dark Souls question. But best boss I ever had. I'm gonna go with James Garrido at Henley American Brasserie. It's a restaurant in Nashville. He was a really hands-on general manager. It's a serving job. And it is one of the few bosses that I was sort of struck by the fact that he actually kind of gave a shit about like the health of the restaurant and how we were all doing both in our jobs and in our personal lives. Very intense individual, but really lovely person to be around, and just great guy overall. Really glad I got to work with him.
Well,
that was over the course of, like, at the beginning, over the course of, and toward the tail end of the pandemic that I got to work with him. So stressful time for everyone. It was very nice to have him there.
Wow, that is just awesome sauce. What about you, Dalton? Who was the best boss you ever had, but what made them the best?
Probably the one I have right now. I work at a university at the moment, and I'm the assistant to the head of the film and TV department. And Shauna Metter is a gem. She is a wonderful human being who is very hands-off with the way she runs the department. As long as the work gets done, she doesn't care how it gets done. And yesterday, I messed up pretty bad. I made a pretty big mistake that cost some money. And she looked at me and she was like, "Look, shit happens, dude. It's gonna be okay." And I was like almost crying. I was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, calm down. It's gonna be okay.
Fine.
We'll get it fixed. And I'm like, you're so cool, Shauna. And she's very supportive. We can talk like friends, and we regularly just have chats in my office, and it's fun. Yeah, I like it.
Wow, that's cool stuff, man. Appreciate you both sharing that with us. Do greatly appreciate it. Now, Wells, if you were the boss of many people, would you want them to fear you or just absolutely love you?
I like to rule through fear. No,
no.
I've thought about what I would be like as a manager a lot, and the answer is probably bad. But
you kind of do it right now.
But I do think that effective leadership comes from a place of caring about people like on an individual level and not just what the overall goal is. When you try and push people to reach an arbitrary number that you've set, it winds up just making everything worse, and you get worse results in the long run. So it's always better to build people up and sort of lead from the bottom, and you wind up surpassing your expectations that way more often than not. So between the two, definitely it's a love relationship.
Oh, I see. I see. What about you, Dalton? If you were a boss of many people, would you want them to fear you or just love you?
I would want them to maybe respect me, but that's not going to happen because I'm not a leader. And if I tried to be a leader, no one would respect me. And that's fine. I don't think I have the ideas or the gumption to lead people or tell people how to do anything. So I just want to work with people. I don't want to necessarily be at the forefront of any of that. So I don't want to be a leader, if that's an acceptable answer.
No, it's an acceptable answer. I mean, you can answer these questions however you want. And that goes for all of our guests on this program, known as And I Quote. So answer the question to the best of your ability. It's fine. Poddex is curious, though, Wells, what is something you love that is vintage?
What is vintage?
Yeah, it could be anything. Could be anything in your house. Could be something at your office. Could be anything.
Oh, I mean, tea. I don't know. I love loose leaf tea. No, I do have vinyl records, and occasionally I break them out, and it just feels nice to slow down the process of engaging with media. I feel like I'm not complaining about the fact that everything is very convenient, because that is a very nice feature of life, that I can get basically anything I want out of this phone. That's my wife, by the way. But sometimes it does get distracting and it does get overwhelming, and you do need to just slow down. And I really enjoy the physical practice of putting a record on and not being able to skip through the songs and just having to listen to the whole thing, while I'm doing chores or just to unwind.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, I thought your phone's wallpaper would be Mechaton.
You would think. So the wallpaper is my wife, and then the
understandable, by the way.
And then the background, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, is there it is.
There it is.
It's a drawing that Dalton did while we were in college.
Oh my
of
gosh.
A hippo with sound equipment.
The sound girl.
Yeah, it's the sound girl, and that is sort of like the weird origin story of our creative partnership. So I have that on me as sort of my background at all times.
Wow, got a bit of history there. That's
and I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that either. That's a strange.
I mean, more it's there because it's funny and it makes me laugh, but.
I was going to say, is it just a standard hippo? Or is it one of those hungry hippos from that game we used to play as kids?
Very hungry hippo.
A very hungry hippo.
He does a very mean joke about someone that we knew in college.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
It was.
Did anyone play that game, though? Did you guys play Hungry Hippos?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Right,
I still got one.
I have nieces and nephews. I played it during Thanksgiving.
You still got yours, Dalton? You still got a...
It's somewhere around here, yeah.
My gosh, I can't believe you still have it. That's amazing.
Yeah, when you have a mother who doesn't throw anything out, then it's pretty easy. Yeah.
In 20 years, she'll be like, look at these comics that you made when you were young. And you'll be like, Mom, just die already. You're so old.
I would never tell her that. She is an angel.
I was going to say, those may be inappropriate words to say to one's mother, but stranger things have happened. Goodness gracious. Wow. Good. Wow. So that was, what was it? It was tea for you. Dalton, what is something you love that's vintage? I'm sorry.
My wife's birthday is coming up, and it's her big 30. So can I say my wife?
That seems very,
I don't know if 30 is considered vintage, but hey.
No, I kid. I generally enjoy most things from the 20th century, so I have a ton of records and comic books, specifically magazines. I love flipping through old comics. I have a pretty significant Action Comics collection, so I've got them from sporadically from the 50s and 60s to now, and I just love flipping through and seeing the old Kurt Swan art and the old advertisements and the letters pages, and that newsprint. The smell of the newsprint is unmatched. So I have too many comics, frankly, but I would say they are my favorite vintage thing I've got. Yeah.
Respect, man. Respect. It's all good. Action Comics and that character, it's all good. No problem at all. Wells, what would you do with an extra hour in a day?
Sleep.
Tell me about it.
Have an anxiety attack. No.
Hey, come on now.
What would I do with an extra hour in a day?
Yeah, what would you do? That's the question.
Probably either cook or play guitar. Just like something that I don't have to do for anyone but me. Because I do get pretty bogged down with I find that most days when I go out and write, it sort of saps my focus and concentration, that's where I want to spend it, and that's fine. So I definitely couldn't do any more of that if I tried. And most other things I'm doing are like work around the house, answering emails, stuff like that. So if it's just like an extra hour, no strings attached, it'd be something like that's like physical and in the moment and present. And that takes my mind off, and that like I can improve at, but it really doesn't matter if I'm any good at it. So yeah, like I said, play guitar. I love playing guitar, but I don't have to do it for anyone except for me.
Electric or acoustic?
I mean, I have both. I have
okay.
Don't get it. Okay, he's getting it.
I was gonna say
I have an acoustic right over there.
You guys want to hear Wonderwall?
Yeah, you guys want to hear Stairway to Heaven? Get out of here.
Yeah, and I have a house-made guitar that's it's like a Stratocaster with better pickups that my dad made for me, and a double octave kind of shredding guitar in the living room.
Man, you got something for everything. Goodness gracious.
Yep.
You are prepared. You're like a rock band on PS2 or PS3 or whatever it was back in the day. Good Lord. That's taking us back. That's taking PS2. Thank you. That's taking us back a few years.
Yeah.
Gee willikers. What about you? What about you, Dalton? If you had an extra hour in a day, what are you going to do with that hour?
Probably practice a skill. Like, I don't feel like I ever have enough time in the day to like learn new skills. I'm just kind of figuring out how to live with the ones I've got, which is woefully inadequate, I'm finding out. No, it's I would love to learn another instrument, because the only musicality I had was like trumpet in high school, and I think it'd be nice to learn an instrument. I would like to practice drawing more. I've been getting really into like studying like chaos magic and the Kabbalistic Tree of Life and stuff. So like I would like to study that, and like I think it's cool, if nothing else. And yeah, just study or learn new skills or something. Like that's what I would do. Yeah.
I don't know. For me personally, I'd use it to either continue reading a book that I'm in the process of reading right now, or whatever the case may be, or whether it's reading a book or my family a long time ago told me I had a really good set of hands for playing the piano. So maybe I can learn how to play the piano.
There you go. Learn a skill.
For sure.
Piano. I think it'd be fun to learn.
Mhm.
Piano is not for me, but it is really rewarding, and I definitely I would recommend it to most people. Reading.
My wife plays.
I would. Your wife plays really well. Piano? Shockingly well.
Yeah, and my best friend plays piano too. I have piano around me often.
I have a piano around me at all times.
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would have said, I think last year or the year before, I would have said read, because I never get to read. But I moved to Chicago last year, and I mostly take public transit, and I read on public transit. So I have read like so much more in the last year than I have in like the 10 preceding it. It's been really refreshing, actually.
Oh, Windy City treating you well with those reading times. Okay.
Absolutely.
Plus, Chicago has some of the biggest shows on the planet. C2E2, anybody?
Oh, yeah.
We went to that last year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you did go to that. Okay. So what is it? C2E2. There's, I think, isn't there a Fan Expo Chicago?
We went to that one too.
Yep, we've been there.
Fan Expo. Wow. Those big shows.
They're both very big. I prefer medium shows, but the big show, there's nothing quite like a big show.
Yeah. Especially C2E2 being one of the biggest ones in the country. I've never been to Chicago before, so maybe one of these days I can visit the Windy City.
It's wonderful. I definitely recommend.
Who knows? Maybe I can go to C2E2 or Fan Expo Chicago, get some deep dish pizza or something with them beers. Sorry, that's my horrible imitation. I'm so sorry, Wells.
It's not even remotely right, but all right.
Not even remotely in the ballpark. I apologize, but you know what? The best thing about Chicago, there's Chicago Cubs and Henry Rowan Gardner. So. There you go. If you grew up watching Rookie of the Year like I did in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about, Wells. You're in Chicago, man. You should know what Rookie of the Year is. It's a great movie.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Great movie. Great movie. You should rewatch that at some point or another. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. But here's another thing that Poddex is curious about, Dalton. Which actor or actress would you want to play you in a movie of your life?
Trixie Mattel.
What the heck? Who is Trixie Mattel? What is
Trixie
this?
Mattel is a drag queen.
Trixie Mattel is my wife's favorite drag queen.
She's great. Katya is better, but Trixie is great.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that was an answer.
I mean, since you said that, I think I have to say Katya.
You have to say Katya.
For the dynamic.
So Katya is going to play you?
The initial answer that came into my head was Kieran Culkin. It would have been Macaulay Culkin, but I like Kieran better now. Ever since Wallace Wells and in Scott Pilgrim, it's right here.
He's doing pretty well for himself. Kieran Culkin's doing pretty well for himself. With certain movies and properties, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in. I'm trying to think of what it was. I mean, actually, I like this movie. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I liked his performance as well as everyone else's performance in Scream 4.
It's been a long time since I've seen Scream 4.
I didn't realize he was in that movie, and it has been about 10, 11 years since I've seen Scream 4. Yeah. Like, I could not tell you what his role was in that movie.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen it as well, but I do have it on DVD. Actually, the voice actor for Ghostface, Roger Jackson, signed my DVD.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he actually signed it with one of the lines from the original film, I'll Gut You Like a Fish. I'm like, oh, geez.
That's fun.
That's threatening, but okay, I'll take it. Yeah, we got a picture together. I think it's somewhere on my social media. But he was, for someone who played such an evil, sadistic, character. By the way, he's a nice dude.
Yeah,
they usually are. Yeah.
They usually are the nicest people.
Yeah, Roger Jackson's a nice guy. So if you guys ever get a chance to meet some of the members of the cast of Scream, including Ghostface himself, Roger Jackson, feel free to say hi to him. He's a nice dude.
Yeah.
But interesting answers to some very intriguing questions by these two fascinating human beings. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to both Wells Thompson and Dalton K. Shannon for being our guests on this episode of And I Quote. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Yes. And I've learned more things than I care to learn about soap operas and other properties and other characters that have been around for far too long. But hey, it's been a lot of fun anyway. Gentlemen, this has been a lot of fun. Wells Thompson, if a person is watching or listening to this, wants to find out more about you, where can they find you, Wells?
For as long as it remains alive and active and not on fire. Twitter, I'm at Twitter at Wells Thump. Same with Blue Sky, though I'm on that less often. The more consistent way to get a hold of us or to keep up with us is through our newsletter, Comics, Cats, and Cocktails, which you can find on Substack. And you can find the link to that at either of our websites. Mine is wellsthompson.com. His is daltonkshannon.com. It is our names.com. That's what it is.
So I guess my next line doesn't really have to go over to say, Dalton, if people want to find out more about you, where can they go?
Yeah, I don't have social media, so it'll be the website and the newsletter. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, just making sure. Just trying to be, doing my best here to be respectful of all of our guests, and I hope I've done that job well. And in case I haven't, well, you guys can let me know in the green room afterwards. Speaking of Action Comics, I'm going to share something with you both here in the green room here in a minute. But before I get to that, once again, thank you both for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. You guys are doing some great stuff, and we wish you guys the best of luck with your Kickstarter, which is going to be starting this Monday, I believe.
Yes, February 5th, 12 Eastern. Be there. Get 20% off the book for the first 2 days after launch. Early bird special.
Early bird catches the worm.
Exactly.
So, G. Willikers, got to get on that. Congratulations, gentlemen. Mechaton is going to be rocking and shocking the interwebs here next week. So congratulations on that. Thank you both for being here. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Also, you can find us on all forms of social media. The links are located in the description below. Also, the links to where you can follow Wells Thompson and Dalton Shannon are also located in the description of this episode of And I Quote. So make sure you check that out. Also, I want to let you guys know that we are this close to hitting 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Once we do, we're going to throw a great big live stream celebration that's going to include returning guests, some surprise guests, and some special giveaways that you, our incredible fans / subscribers, I should say, are going to be eligible to win, which include 11x17 prints by the Art of John Pinto on Facebook. If you want to support the show, we got a buy me a coffee link, but in our case, we like pizza. I mean, Wells lives in Chicago, so he should know a thing or two about deep dish, right? I mean, he knows something about it. So you can support the show. Links are located down in the description. If you want merch, we got shirts, we got hoodies, we got stickers. Hey, Wells and Dalton, if you guys like stickers, you can add them to your tumblers or your water bottles, whatever it may be. Show them off to your friends at work, why don't you? Links are located in the description below, so definitely check that out. Thank you all for being here. Do greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching this live on the replay, we thank you so much for being with us. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Ring that bell to be notified when our new videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when supporting indie creators of all shapes and sizes. Take a look.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasmafire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasmafire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.